So this is going to be a super short devlog. This week I was building out a map editor for my farming game. To do that I kind of had to put something in so you could edit objects and stuff like that. So that's all. It's very primitive at the moment. You can just kind of select which objects are linked and you can name things. And the way this basically works is that all the models are linked in two files. So if you have a model and you have an image in a folder, it'll like recognize that. So if you want to do like external mod support, this is quite handy for that. It just populates this automatically. And then when you go back to the map editor, and let me load a level. Oh god, yeah, I forgot how much I messed up with this. There's stuff everywhere at the moment, but basically you can go into the terrain. You can drop like things like trees. At the moment there's no height, so unfortunately it doesn't recognize the down there. But you can drop in fences, you can drop in basically anything you want. I'd automatically sync with the data. If I go back to none, and then if I reload this one, you'll see it's automatically like saves on the changes I made. It's quite hard to tell because there's so much stuff in this file. But so yeah, and the only other thing I've managed to put in this at the moment is oh, that should be populated. You can select which scene is associated with this. So for example, the kind of level layout and the water and stuff is all in a scene, and then all of these trees and stuff. This building eventually will be in the editor, but at the moment it's not. So all the background geometry is going to be in its own scene, so you'll be able to select that there. So if I go to a new map, for example, I can load in the farm, and then I can start populating stuff. And you see, one of the things I had to build for this was, because I don't really like just making a very large dictionary or anything like that, I built in what I call an expandable grid. So basically it's an array, but as you place stuff, it'll expand the array and automatically rejig everything around. So that's quite nice, and the white line just shows you the border of the array. So you'll always be able to just make it as large or as small as possible. One thing I did forget to put in is a delete tool. There is support. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, I know why that's happened. Okay, that's fine. It's because I had redid the rotation for fences, because previously they weren't rotated correctly when you place them. But because I fixed it for the editor, these fences are actually part of the level, so their rotations aren't correct. But that's fine. So yeah, this will work quite nicely. There's so much stuff I have to do still. For example, I have to kind of run these tile maps into loading when the game loads. I'm gonna have to rejig the way I've handled the tiles themselves to be able to interact with them, things like that. And I need to do floors, which are quite interesting because floors basically have to change their model based on which if they're surrounded by floors, or if they've got if they're a corner floor, things like that. So they're a bit more complicated than just dropping a model in. Same with the fences. Fences need to align to a certain direction or things like that. I might have to add something in for rotation, so you'll be able to rotate these fences. But especially they should connect up really, which will be quite cool when they eventually do that. So yeah, that's basically it. The only other thing I've got going on right now is I keep writing down my notes on paper, and this is a project I did ages ago to save GIFs, and I've kind of repurposed it to it doesn't save GIFs anymore. It turns out getting GIFs off the internet is a bit harder because Twitter and stuff, they're not actually GIFs, they're GIF videos, so the project never really got completed. But now I'm doing this where I can write in notes. There's some issues with resizing input fields at the moment, because at the moment everything in here auto resizes to its contents, which is quite nice. But the problem is, for some reason, there's a hack you can do to get input fields to auto size to their contents. For some reason, TextMesh Pro input fields don't quite have the same behavior as input fields, despite I think practically being identical. So I'm gonna have to rejig them to accept TextMesh Pro text, because obviously when you zoom in, the vanilla Unity text always looks a bit crap. Also, the zooming it's not quite centered in the right position. But yeah, you can make as many notes as you want. If I remember how to, I think it's Shift N. Yeah, you can make titles. If you do Control N, you can just make notes. I'm currently working on getting lines. I mean, there's a bunch of stuff here that shows you what I've got to do. But yeah, I need to do like lines. I need to do smooth zooming, things like that. And you can obviously just save and load this basically. Oh, actually, I forget you can't load the current file because the current file's still in runtime memory there. But if you close it down, I haven't saved it, so it will just go back to the initial stage. There we go. So I can get rid of all those horrible edits I did. That's pretty much it. There's a lot of things to do on the map editor, but it's quite nice because oh yeah, this is always on top, and the window is like draggable around the screen, so I can have it like in a corner somewhere on my desktop. I don't need to worry about it. It's very similar to PureRef if you're familiar with that software. And eventually I will put image support and stuff in it, so I can have notes here and be working in Unity at the same time, which is quite nice. Cool. Alright, so I think that's pretty much it. I'm glad with the progress. Today has been a bit of a wild day. Kind of wanted to shit this out to just to make sure that I get it out of the way, because I've been trying to fix a bunch of problems with everything and it's driving me nuts. So yeah, if you're watching this, hopefully I've put out more videos by now, and I hope you enjoy.